Hey guys, what's up and welcome to a new Tesla update video. So as usual today, we're going to go over the market. There's only one day left in the week, and like you guys said yesterday, Monday is of course an off day. I completely forgot. I live in Canada, sometimes I forget. But all that being said and done, let's take a look at what happened today. It was a pretty wild day and what we can expect going into the final day of the week tomorrow, and as we continue on into the rest of September. So if you guys enjoy, find it useful, whatever, don't forget to hit the like button. But let's just jump straight into it. So Tesla ending the day down, or rather up, sorry, it was down most of the day, but ended up finishing green at 0.56%, putting us $277.16 compared to the NASDAQ being up literally just over a percent, essentially flat. So Tesla doing pretty decently well for the most part throughout the day. Now, the reason Tesla down initially is because, well, Tesla spent the majority of the day in the red, especially when it was all the way down here at around 266, right? I have these lines drawn for a reason, guys, not just there, for, random reasons, I guess. I had this line there for a reason because, well, it's going to potentially bounce off this area. And if not here, then most likely here, right? So I think when it was down at the bottom, it was down like almost 4%. I think it was close to 4. It was definitely in the threes. I don't remember if it touched 4% negative. But nonetheless, the most important part today to talk about is the fact that we did end on a pretty good note, actually. The volume's still, a little bit mediocre, but a pretty textbook looking hammer candle, a beautiful looking hammer candle. Very little wick at the top is what I want to see. A nice long wick at the bottom. Ideally, you want this wick to be longer than the actual candle itself while being green like this. So this to me, like I'll show you guys it right now, is pretty much a textbook hammer candle. So if you like, even if like you were to Google what a hammer candle is, this is like better. Ideally, the longer the wick, the better, of course, like the little shadow thing. However, as you can see, beautiful looking, examples right here. Pretty much exactly what we're seeing on this right here, right? So this is good. This is a bullish thing. This is usually, not always, of course. Again, not financial advice, all that stuff. Make your own research decisions. Do your own research. Again, nothing in the market is guaranteed. That's first and foremost. That's number one rule. However, usually, more often than not, this kind of candle, after a downtrend, usually signals a reversal. Now, how far will the reversal go? Well, that's the question, right? But a reversal nonetheless. So pretty much after today's movement, so what I personally did, if you're curious, is when we were all the way down here, I did sell more puts into next Friday. So I'm very happy I did that, obviously, because I was doing that when Tesla was down like 3%. And so that's obviously, clearly working out quite well for me. But usually what this means is the fact that we are going to be reversing. So most likely to the targets I talked about earlier. I wouldn't be surprised if Tesla comes up to, at the very least, like I expect 280 tomorrow. Like that would be pretty disappointing if we don't at least, touch 280 tomorrow. If we can break this kind of like very low 280s, like, between 280 to 282, something like that, or even like 281, just the very, very low 280s. If we can break that and kind of hold above that, that's going to be a pretty good sign, in my opinion. That would mean that, we're going to, at the very least, most likely come up to the next level, being 285. And if we can break 285, then maybe we can come up and actually test one of these red lines. This one up here is looking a little bit less likely. However, this one that over here is looking, potentially, I guess in the sights, if you will, right? Putting us around $290, maybe sometime next week is what I'm currently expecting. So we'll see how it goes. Of course, you want to play level by level, right? So that's the most important thing that you want to do. So one thing you can do is, assuming this is the bottom, right? Let's assume for now that this is like the short-term bottom. What you can do is take the Fibonacci, take it from the recent top being up here, bring it all the way down to the most recent bottom, and this can kind of give you a rough idea as to where we can potentially extend. So the first level on the Fibonacci, at least, what you can look at is going to be the 0.382, which is putting us at $285 roughly per share price. But the one I'm personally looking for, which actually lines up pretty well with what I just said, is of course the 290 share price, which is the 0.5 retracement, which I personally think is the level that I wouldn't be surprised if we actually come up to at some point, maybe next week or something like that, which from here will be a move of around, oops, I didn't do it properly. Let me do that one more time. If that were the case, that means from here to the 290 would be pretty much a move of around 4.5%, which honestly, with how Tesla moves, doesn't seem impossible whatsoever, right? It feels like we can easily move about 4.5% sometime early next week. That does not seem out of the picture whatsoever. And that's personally what I'm expecting at the very moment. And if it does happen, beautiful stuff, I will exit my bullish positions and then wait for the market to kind of, decide what it wants to do next before I enter my new position. So taking one more look, or I guess our first look for today at the major indicators that we want to take a look at, right? Being the 21 EMA. Again, we're still well below that, so we can potentially come up to somewhere around its level maybe get rejected by that, so we'll see, which is around 286-ish. We're still, of course, dancing around the red line of the Bollinger Band, so also the white line, right, which will put us pretty much close to 290. Wouldn't be surprised if we come up and touch that as well. And then, of course, we have the 50 moving average, which I did talk about several times before. We did come down to it finally and pretty much bounced off of that, which is great. The 200 moving average, like I said, don't even think about it. Maybe we'll, for luck, we'll come up to touch it, you know, on this rally coming up potentially, but again, even that, I still wouldn't really count on it. I'm personally aiming for 290. And then you have these two bad boys right here being the shorter term moving averages, which I expect us to kind of play around and dance around these two guys, which again, especially the 10-day moving average, pretty much close to 290. It's at 288 at the moment, right? Very close to 290. So that's pretty much the level, guys, I will personally be looking for sometime next week, hopefully, right? And that's kind of what I'm seeing, guys. So it's really not a whole lot more to talk about. The one thing I didn't talk about was the monthly chart when September ended. Obviously, it was a pretty bearish looking candle. Oh, sorry, when August ended. Pretty, you know, not a great looking candle so far. September's off to a very good start. Beautiful look on the September candle so far, but it's literally been what? I mean, is today the first day? Today is the first day, so it doesn't really count just yet. This is essentially a daily candle, right? Because it's only one day in the month. But nonetheless, you know, Tesla looking short term, I want to make this very clear, short term, quite bullish, quite good. Just the market in general, the SPY and everything, right? Beautiful bounce off this red line for the SPY. The QQQ is also not looking too bad at all. Just hammer candles across the board. This could be a glorious bull trap. That is still very possible, which is why I always want to make it very clear that nothing in the market is guaranteed. You want to just understand which circumstance or what are the odds favoring, essentially? Like, you know, is it 80-20, 90-10, you know, 70-30, whatever. Like, what are the odds favoring? And are you able to play towards that and, you know, maybe put it in your favor somehow, some way, right? That's kind of what the market is all about. It's not about, it's kind of like when we play poker, honestly. To me, the market is like poker. A lot of people think the market is gambling. I disagree. I think it's educated. It's like educated gambling, I guess, which is essentially poker. Where poker, at the end of the day, at its root, is gambling. But at the same time, there's definitely skill involved. There's definitely things that can influence the luck in your favor, right? Or based on just how you play, how you react, how you assess certain situations, whatever. To me, I view this as the same thing, right? So there's obviously luck involved, of course, but you know, you can turn that luck much more in your favor if you kind of know what you're doing. And that's kind of what you want to be doing with this. And that's kind of what this candle is telling me right now, that, you know, it's pointing towards a potential somewhat short-term rally. So that's what I'm waiting for. That's what I'm expecting. That's my current analysis. Let me know what you guys think about it down below. If you find these videos useful or whatever, then let me know by hitting the like button, leaving a comment, tell me your thoughts, all that stuff. But again, guys, ultimately the trend, in my opinion, on the RSI is still very much down, but the short term does very much want to go up. So that's it. Let me know what you guys think down below, and I'll see you then. Peace.